This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. I'm the birthday boy for today, September 12th. Normally, I do one of a living athlete and all that, but this guy may be dead, but his legacy is far from dead, if you know what I'm talking about. Regardless, this man is a legend. Winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympic Games, of course, that Olympics known for the Aryan Brotherhood and trying to make Germany looked good, but no, it didn't, in a sense. This man was the greatest athlete of all time. In fact, he did a massive feat I will talk about at the 1935 Big Ten track meet in Ann Arbor, which was huge. Of course, we all know about the 36 Summer Olympics and was actually named by ESPN the sixth greatest North American athlete of the 20th century, from 1901 to 2000, if you will, and I was ranked in a sport. His name is James Cleveland Owens, aka Jesse Owens, who was born September 12, 1913 in Oakville, Alabama. I think he was, yeah, I think he was born one day after Bear Bryant, because I know yesterday I did Bear Bryant's biography. Now I'm doing Jesse Owens. So September 12, 1913, he was the youngest of 10 children born to a sharecropper, meaning that he was a grandson of a slave. At the age of 9, he moved from Oakville, Alabama to Cleveland, Ohio for better opportunities for the Great Migration, which saw 1.6 million African Americans leave the South for the urban and industrial North. He was known as JC because of James Cleveland. Yeah, well, when his new teacher asked his name to enter in a roll book, he said JC, but because of his strong Southern accent, she thought it meant Jesse, and the name stuck. So anyway, as a youth, he took different menial jobs in his spare time, delivering groceries, loading freight cars, working in a shoe repair shop, and all that. But he had a passion for running and all that. So he actually met his soon-to-be wife at Fairmont Junior High School when he was 15 and she was 13. And then they would have 3 daughters together and would remain married until his death in 1980. Anyway, he was a student at East Technical High School in Cleveland and equaled the world record in the 100 yards dash. 100 yards is 91 meters. And all that in 9.4 seconds. And long jump 24 feet plus at a high school championship in Chicago. When his father found steady employment, the family could be supported. And so Owens left to go to the University of Ohio State. So anyway, he was known as the Buckeye Bullet and won 8 NCAA championships, 4 in 1935 and 4 in 1936. The only person that could get 4 gold medals at the NCAA tournament for track and field was Xavier Carter in 2006, but that was basically the relay. Owens enjoyed athletic success, but he would have to live off campus with African American athletes for obvious reasons, segregation. When he traveled with the team, Owens was restricted to ordering carryout or eating at blacks only restaurants and had to stay at blacks only hotels. It was just kind of pathetic that, despite the North being less segregated than the South, he still had to face racism. Anyway, May 25th, 1935 was the day that he broke onto the scene. He had 4 world records in athletics. The Big Ten athletics meet was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, home to the U of Michigan. Owens would set 3 records and tied a 4th in a span of 45 minutes. First off, he tied the world record for the 100-yard dash at 9.4 seconds. Of course, the 100-yard dash is 91 meters, whereas the 100 meters is, 100. And then he would set a long jump world record, 26 feet 8 inches. That record would set for 25 years until Ralph Boston broke it at the Olympics. He set a record for the 220-yard sprint, or about 201 meters, just over 200 meters in 20.3 seconds, and the 220-yard low hurdles, being the first guy to break the 23-second mark. Anyway, both 220-yard records actually beat the metric records for 200 meters and all that, which would have 2 additional world records from the same performances. Anyway, the NAACP secretary, the National Association for Colored People, the secretary wrote a letter to Jesse Owens, trying to dissuade Owens from taking part in the 1936 Summer Olympics. He wrote a letter but never sent it. He kind of had second thoughts. And he argued that an African American should not promote a racist regime after what his race had suffered through the hands of racists in their own country. There was momentum in favor of a boycott. Yeah, and he thought that he would withdraw from the 1936 Olympics. Unfortunately, though, Avery Brundage, who was then president of the American Olympic Committee, branded he and his other people un-American agitators, practically just saying that they would be branded as traitors. So, nevertheless, he went to Germany to compete at the Summer Olympics in Berlin. And all that. What was even more huge is that the founder of the Adidas shoe company, Adi Dassler, actually persuaded Owens to wear a German prototype, making him the first male African American athlete to sponsor shoes. So anyway, in the 100 meters, Owens won with a time of 10.3 seconds, beating college friend Ralph Metcalfe by 10th of a second. And for silver, and for bronze, it was Tina's Ozadorp of Holland. The next day, he won the long jump with a leap of 26 feet 5 inches, 3.5 inches short of his world record. He actually credited this achievement to the technical advice that List Long, the German competitor, told him to make a mark 4 inches before the board and then jump from there. You should be able to qualify for the final, because Owens was in trouble of fouling out of the competition and not making the finals. But he did. But he later admitted that this was not true because he and Les Long did not meet after the competition was over. However, what was true was that Long, in full view of the Federer, actually put his arm around Jesse Owens and all that. Full view of Hitler. Then the next day, August the 5th, he won the 200-meter sprint in a time of 20.7 seconds, defeating Mac Robinson, the older brother of Jackie Robinson, if you must know. So there was 3 gold medals down, 1 to go. And fortunately for Owens, he had a 4-day break until August 9th in the 4x100-meter sprint relay. Owens was not supposed to be in the 4x100 meters, but he and Ralph Metcalfe was put in by the track head coach only because they didn't want Marty Glickman and Sam Stoller, a pair of Jewish American sprinters, in there. They were just trying to suck up to the filler. It worked out. They won the gold medal in 39.8 seconds world record. He protested the last minute switch. I don't think he wanted to piss off Glickman or Stoller. But anyway, Owens' 4 gold medals was not even equal until 1984 when Carl Lewis won gold medals at each of the 4 events, the 100, 200 long jump, and the 4x100, as Owens did in 1984. So anyway, it was huge and all that. The long jump victory is documented in the famous 1938 film by Leni Riefenstahl, Olympia. So anyway, Adolf Hitler actually shook hands with the German victors on August the 1st. The IOC president said that Hitler agreed every medalist or none at all, and Hitler opted, of course, for the latter. So he didn't talk to Owens. Anyway, it's just what happens and all that. Someone actually stated that Hitler shook hands with Jesse Owens. But anyway, in October 36, Owens actually said that Hitler didn't snub me. It was our own president who snubbed me. He didn't even send me a telegram. So anyway, nevertheless, Owens's 4 gold medals actually proved to spurn Hitler's regime plans and all that. That an African American would embarrass Hitler on his own turf. Strange as it sounded, in Germany he was allowed to travel and stay in the same hotels as his white teammates at a time when African Americans were not allowed in their own country, in the United States. He was greeted in New York City by the mayor LaGuardia when he returned to the States at a Manhattan ticker tape parade. So anyway, someone handed Owens a paper bag. And then after the parade ended, it was $10,000 in cash, or equivalent to about $220,000 in our day. So anyway, the problem was that Owens was not permitted to enter through the main doors of the Waldorf Astoria after the parade, and forced to travel up to the reception honoring him in a freight elevator. And FDR did not invite Jesse Owens to the White House during his presence at the Olympic Games. He actually endorsed Alf Landon, Roosevelt's Republican opponent in the 1936 presidential race. But Owens was a staunch Republican, as is. So, anyway. So, after the Olympics, there would be a lot of problems and all that. You know, Owens had some lucrative endorsement deals, but however, the U.S. athletic officials would withdraw his amateur status, which immediately ended his career. And Owens stated a fellow desires something for himself. And he argued that the racial discrimination he faced throughout his athletic career meant he had to give up on amateur athletics in pursuit of financial gain elsewhere. Well, fair enough. Unfortunately, though, Owens was not the main guy. Like, after the Olympics, racism back home led to difficulty earning a living. He took on menial jobs as a gas station attendant, playground janitor, and manager of a dry cleaning firm. And would race against certain things like cars, trucks, and horses for a cash prize. He was not allowed to make appearances at amateur sporting events, and he found out that the commercial offers had all but disappeared. Anyway, yeah. Owens did open up his own public relations agency in the late 40s. So, anyway, he did a lot of things. He ran a dry cleaning business and worked as a gas station attendant to earn a living, but had to file for bankruptcy. And he was prosecuted for tax evasion. Fortunately, though, he was aided in beginning his rehab and all that. President Eisenhower enlisted Owens as a goodwill ambassador in 1955 and sent the world renowned track star to India, Philippines, and Malaysia to promote physical exercise and to tout the cause of American freedom and economic opportunity in the developing world. So, yeah, he did a lot of things and all that. He actually refused to support Black Power salute by Tommy Smith and John Carlos at the 68th Summer Olympics and told them, the black fist is a meaningless symbol. When you open it, you have nothing but fingers. Weak, empty fingers. The only time the black vest has significance is when there's money inside. That's where the power lies. And then when he changed, in 1972, when he wrote his book, I Have Changed, he said, I realize now that militancy, in the best sense of the word, was the only answer where the black man was concerned. That any black man who wasn't a militant in 1970 was either blind or a coward. He actually traveled to Munich for the 72 Summer Olympics as a special guest of the West German government, of course, trying to fix the problem that Hitler destroyed and all that. And Owens tried to convince President Carter not to go through with the boycott of the 1980 Moscow Games. And it said that the Olympic idea was supposed to be observed with a timeout from war and was above politics. Nevertheless, Jesse Owens had actually died of lung cancer at the age of 66, March 31st, 1980, days before Carter went through with his boycott. The problem was that he was a pack-a-day cigarette smoker for 35 years, practically after his competition days were over. He was hospitalized with an extremely aggressive type of lung cancer. So anyway, Jimmy Carter did issue a tribute to Owens saying, perhaps no athlete better symbolized the human struggle against tyranny, poverty, and racial bigotry. Oh yeah. He had a lot of honors and all of that. He has a stadium named after him via Ohio State, dedicated to Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium for track and field events. All that. Anyway, yeah. There were a lot of things named for him after his death, nevertheless. So, regardless of that, he was a legend, and don't you forget about it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.